I have some good things to say. It's it's nice to pick up a spare variator. This was the one that was on it, and I just swapped my spare on. I need to clean this out. These are usually filled with grease from the factory, and you really don't need the grease. So I just haven't had time to clean this out. But it's nice to have an extra one. You can pick these up for 20, 25, 30 bucks on eBay. Depends on the time of year. And if you have an extra one, then if you buy a set of weights, I guess I'll get the weights out too. I'll try to link to all this stuff. So there you go. You can see I've got a set of weights, and then here's 3 through 8, and then 9 through 14 grams. And I forget what the stock weights weigh in the Urban Express. I want to say 13 grams each, and there's 6 of them. So what is that? 78 total. 60 and 18, 78. Yep. So and they generally recommend 20, around 24 is a pretty good starting point. Basically, I'll keep filming since I think I have something important to say. I could be wrong. Somebody will let me know if I'm wrong, and I'm really not saying anything of much consequence. Because that is the privilege of being a YouTube viewer. Tell these idiots making videos that they don't have any idea what the hell they're talking about and how they could have done things better. Anyways, hey man, I'm trying. Hey, I'm out here making videos. If you've got a better video about the same subject, I'll be happy to watch it and tell you what you could have done better. Anyhow, 7mm wrench here. You might as well, you know, the benefit to taking the time to film me get this crap off is, if you've never done it before, you've got an exact idea of what's involved. And I don't just skip a step and say, look, this is what you do. It may seem simple, but if you've never done it, you're liable to drop your wrench on the floor. Now that you've seen me drop my wrench on the floor, you'll know how to avoid that. Hey, look, wait a minute. It's coming right off. The cap came right off. So it's got an O-ring, which is always, in every one I've ever opened, I think, this damn O-ring's been slightly too big. I don't know what the deal was with that. Then you've got, what is this, the movable face? Someone will correct me in my terminology, I'm sure. And then, so, now if you don't have weights to exchange it with, and you just have the stock 6 weights, just take out 3. Take out every other one. And that'll get you real close. These are 5 and 4. I think they're color coded on this box. Maybe not. Do they have any key? I just have to weigh them, I guess, to figure it out. I could put in 3 9s or 3 10s. Let me see if I can figure out by the look of them which one's lighter. I'm going to say You can just look at like the thickness of the metal in here. I'm going to say the blue one is lighter. I mean, they're only a gram different, but it's got less metal. So we'll say the blue is 4 and the red is 5. So 3 5s and 3 4s. What is that? Is that what I put in here? 3 5s, 15 and 12 is 27. Hell, I didn't even add it up right. So maybe I should go to 30. Let's see, 27. I'm going to go to 30 and see what that does. So I'm just going to put in 3 10s. Assuming we're going to open this package before. I've never opened this one before. Give me 3 10s, please. There we go. Uno, dos, tres. Here's the 10s. You can see how much more meatier they are. Where did my... here it is. It's on the other side. So here's the inside of a cleaned one. Now when you open yours, it's going to be all kinds of grease, and it's just a major pain to get it all out. Unless you got a parts washer. But you still have to, get most of the grease out by hand before you even throw it in the parts washer. So here I am, and I've just put in 3 10s in every other slot. You want to keep them evenly spaced. And then, where's the camera? Here's the driven face. It's got these plastic tabs that go over these metal bars, whatever you want to call them. And on this, you've got the O-ring already in. Didn't even have to mess with that. Yours will probably fall out because that's just the way it works out. And then we just line up the holes and okay, I'm going to get a socket. This wrench sucks for this. Yeah, I know it's taken forever. I know you got somewhere to be, you got somewhere else to go, something else to do. But here I'm giving you, good information. At least I think so. So got to get my tiny sprocket. No. Our socket. So 7mm. Don't tighten the first one in all the way, because you're going to have to align stuff. But yeah, if you don't have the, I'll put a link. What am I linking so far? I'm linking to these weights. I'm linking to a piston stop. I'm linking to the BX31 belt. If you want me to link to something else you think you need, or that I said you need, just let me know. And you really don't have to tighten these down to, what's the rule? Andy's rules of mopeds. Maybe chicks don't have this problem. It's probably just a guy thing. You don't have to tighten the living hell out of these things. Although there we go. Just snug them up good. Don't go crazy. Alright, so we'll move our BX31 out of the way. And then throw our variator back on. Find our, oh, here it is. Find our, I'll call it a belt guide. Somebody will correct me on the terminology, I'm sure. And then see if we can, you may have to test your grip strength and open up this sucker, which is always hard to do. Okay, don't get your fingers caught in here because it hurts. Get that belt in there a little bit. Alright, there we go. All our gears are still lined up good. That might want to pop out there, that spring. So we got the other cheek, whatever you want to call it. You'll know which side is which because one's got all kinds of belt markings on it. Plop that on there. Get your washer on. Thread your nut. And then what I like to do is push this belt in. I got to get my wrench ready, or socket. That too. Get your 17 millimeter ready. Get your socket in the right direction, the right orientation for tightening. I like to just pinch that belt down in there. You know, it shouldn't matter. Let me see. It should even up. Alright, I think that's good. I ought to, one of these days, figure out the torque and torque it correctly. How are we doing? 12 minutes. That's not bad. If you want, I've already done it, but there's a bushing here where this, what is that? Is it a belt shaving dropping down? There's a bushing in here, right there, where this fits in. I lubricated it last time. And then kind of tuck your belt in a little bit. And then when you put it on, you want to find the spindle. Get it on that. Push the spindle in as you push the cover on. And then I really should take time to take all the gears out and lubricate them and stuff. But I'll do that later. I just want to get this thing dialed in right. So, what's the problem here? Is this a 7? I'm looking at the wrong. I need an 8, please. An 8 millimeter. And then what I do here, I'm just going to, not even finger tight, I'm just getting them pretty much all the way in, but I'm going to leave the final tightening to occur. In a minute. Now, wait a minute. I paused that video, didn't I? So it's actually longer than I'm thinking it is. But, you know, maybe I'll make it 2 parts. You know, people's attention spans. This is They want action, they want explosions, they want excitement, they want car chases. Hey, I can only... These are the behind the scenes work that you gotta do before you can do the exciting stuff like car chases, etc., etc. Okay, there's my 8 bolts, kind of finger tight. Then what you want to do, I'm going to give you 2 important things here. I think there's supposed to be markings, but I just set it up to where I want it. Then take it, hold it down, put some tension on it, then go through and tighten these. Alright, 2 more. 2 more, hang in there. And the videos I make aren't necessarily for the seasoned professional. They're for people who've never done this before. And they're, you know, just like me, I'm usually intimidated when I take on something new. Now, important point of note, there's a groove in the spindle. Your bolt goes through that groove. So you don't really need to push this all the way, the kickstart lever all the way against the cover. Because if you do, your bolt will hit the threads in the spindle and strip out. You should be able to, with your fingers, get it all the way in, and then just tighten it with your socket from there. And then make sure to take out your piston stop. We'll put the piston back in a minute. Everything moving smoothly. Someone had this Autolite plug in here. Previous owner. Autolite 275. I wonder if that's even close, or if that crosses over to the correct NJK BPR 4.5HS plug, whatever it is. I don't know. Alright, spark plug back in, weights in, life is good. And actually, while I've got you, here are the stock roller weights. You can see those are pretty meaty. I think it's about 13 grams. But I could be wrong. You know, that stuff happens. And so we got 30 grams in as opposed to 27. Maybe that's a better number. We'll find out soon enough. I wish it would warm up. It is absolutely freezing. I froze to death riding around for 15 or 20 minutes earlier today. But that's just the way it goes. So there's your BX31 install. Anybody can do it, man. If I can do it, you can do it. Actually, when I first tried this, yeah, it took me forever. I know it sounds stupid. You're going to say, man, what's your problem? Took me forever to build up the confidence or the courage to do it, but it's not that bad. Where you'll get into difficulty is if you take it off, someone's been in there and it's missing stuff and your gears fall out and it's just a pain in the butt. Now I made a video on that, and I had a couple things wrong. One was there's a special there's a special washer and it goes a certain direction, but if you look in the manual it'll tell you. And I think there was another washer as well. But the manual, where you can get it online for free, it tells you what all is supposed to be there and where it's supposed to go and how it's supposed to be oriented. I'll show you something else. I always thought these things set really low, so I added this, I'll call it a shock spacer thing. It's made out of aluminum, and they included an aluminum bolt and nut, which was stupid. Luckily, I had a real stainless steel bolt and nut. And but anyways, I always thought the Urban Express set kind of low, so I added this. But what I didn't realize until I went to start it up is it basically pushes everything down, and now when it's on the center stand, the rear wheel sits on the ground. So I just got out a 2x4 and put it up on the 2x4. Anyhow, so if you add a longer shock, or if you add a shock extender, whatever this thing's called, that is possibly an issue if you get too far or too long. Anyways, all right, for the sake of brevity or longevity, I will sign off now.